Years ago, someone sent me a video of some kids that went to a village in Nigeria and what happened to them, and it was shocking, man. And this person has now sent me another video of these two boys, yeah, that went to see a friend in northern Nigeria, different parts of Nigeria, and to see a friend in northern Nigeria. And they're school friends, they're not, they're like 18, 19 years of age. They've all passed their exams. They've all got A-levels and master's degrees and all these sorts of things, yeah. They're really educated kids. And they're going to see another mate in the village. This kid's educated, but he lives in a village where these other two live in Lagos. So it's quite posh to live in Lagos. I think they live in a place called Lekki. Anyway, and they got to see their mate. Day out, a bit more of a day out, actually. Got to fly out there, and then, anyway. They go there with the suitcases to stay a few days with him, and they go there, and they go to the house, and he's not in. So they're waiting outside for him to come. So he comes. How are you all right? They've got mates and this, that, and the other, and having a bit of a dance and enjoying themselves. Had a bit of a drink, yeah, and got carried away. Had too much drink, and before you know where you are, one of the guys, the guy that lives in the house, out of nowhere, he's pulled a gun. Right, he's pulled a gun, just being drunk, being crazy. Boom, shot the gun in the air, 2 or 3 shots in the air, run out into the street, bang, shooting the gun. And mate, the worst thing that could ever happen to this kid, these 3 kids. Everybody went mad. Everybody come out of their houses and their huts and bits and pieces, got absolutely crazy. The kids were just having a bit of fun. But a bit of fun. I suppose it went a bit too far. One of them, the guy that lives in the village, just started going crazy, shooting a gun. So this kid, right? They got hold of this kid and they smashed him to pieces. But not only did they smash him to pieces, but they stripped all his clothes off. And the other two in the house, yeah, didn't move. They was petrified. I've never seen. Well, I might have seen it before, but I didn't even believe this actually goes on. So they're petrified. They're still in the house. Yeah. They can see this guy being dragged through the streets. And they can see people taking his clothes off, and they're hitting him with all sorts of rocks and boulders and all these sort of things. Yeah. And then the video goes back to the house. With the other two in there, people smashed the door down and grabbed the other two out. These other two are very posh young kids, got A-levels, got their master's degrees. The other one who lives there has got all his A-levels, but he hasn't got marks. Yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter what they got and what they haven't got, but they're very posh. They're different kids. They dragged them out. They're trying to explain to them that, it's a party, having a laugh, but it was just one of the things that went wrong. What can they do? Can they give money to people to let it go, please? And someone started, and they hit these young kids with all sorts of stones and bricks and things like that. And one got hit across the head with a lump of wood. He hit the floor. They started taking their clothes off. Now they've got the 3 of them now. The other one is a bit further down the village. They're hitting him with all sorts of things, bits of wood and sticks and everything, yeah. He's now smashed to pieces. The other 2, they're crying out, they haven't done no wrong. They're just crying out, and they're whacking them with bits of wood and stones and everything. And after a while, you look at this video, the video goes on for about 10 minutes, and it's shocking. And this kid, the first kid, half of his head is hanging out, half of his head's hanging out of his skull. The other 2, The other two, they've just smashed them to pieces so bad, you know, and they're still dragging them through the villages. Two of them sat up and couldn't believe it. They're crying, and a guy walked up behind them with like a big block and smashed it over their heads, you know, and the heads just burst open, you know what I mean? And then they just laid on the floor. And I mean, come on, your kids going to see their mate in another village. They come from a place called Lekki, very posh place in Nigeria. They've all got A levels, master's degrees. These are nice little kids, not 18, 19 years of age, yeah. Just gone to see their mate in a village in northern Nigeria. I suppose they must have been warned about it, and one of the kids starts shooting a gun, and this is what happens. Imagine it happening in this country. Imagine them sort of things happen in this country. You've got a gun or a knife. Imagine that. You know, well, I didn't think there'd be many people shooting people and stabbing people if that was to happen, yeah. They then got hold of these kids, sat them up, yeah. These kids now are completely, what can I say, in a way they're dead. You know, half their brains are hanging out, their bodies have been smashed to pieces, they've got bits of bones hanging out their arms and their legs. And not only on top of that, a couple of these guys that are absolutely schizophrenic psychopaths, you've got to say that, come up to these kids and started putting tyres over their bodies, yeah? Big tyres over their body. I mean, you see this, you want to cry, you know what I mean? Because it's sad, man. It's so sad. And these kids are still trying to scream and everything. They haven't done no wrong. They haven't done no wrong. Okay, one shot of bullets in the air and this, that and the other, but they haven't done no wrong. And they put tyres over their body so they can't even move their arms. And then one guy just opens their mouth and tips diesel or petrol into their mouth. I mean, you know, they can't, I mean, and then bosh, they set the whole three of them alight. They set the three of them alight, mate. And it's just, they can't move, these kids, just burning to death alive, yeah. They're alive and they're burning them, mate. And it's, and I see it, yeah. And I think to myself, wow, man, this can't happen. That's barbaric, yeah. But even if it's barbaric, you imagine it happening in this country. You imagine if you get caught stabbing someone to death, or you got caught with a gun. This is exactly what would happen to you. It could never happen in this country, but imagine if it did. Wow, I can't. It's like to see that today made me think. Wow, we're lucky to be in a civilized country. Are we in a civilized country? We ain't really, are we? We are, but we ain't. I mean, you know, and what makes it even more so worse than I'm not a racist because all my mates are black and my girls are black, my girlfriend's black. I mean, everything that is around me is black. You know, this is how I've grown up, yeah. But they're letting people come across that borders, mate, from war zone countries. That is how they live. That is how they live. But so you can imagine that when they come into this country, it's so easy for them. They're thinking, well, hold up. I can run around with a knife. I can stab people. I can run around with a gun. I can shoot people. And what happens to me? Nothing. Nothing happens. I can do what I want. And this is what the government have got to get into their nuts. You know, that they've got to sort it out. Yeah, they must sort it out because, you know, I mean, they're coming over from these countries and they're living like that thing in northern Nigeria. You know, it's mad. Anyway, this is just, you know, just it gets into my nut, you know what I mean? I think to myself, wow, you know, what are they doing? What's going on in these countries? Anyway, please press the like button, subscribe, and good morning.